Welcome everyone. My name is Laura. I'm the librarian for CGHS. You've been assigned a DNP project, and this process requires a literature search to illustrate an evidence-based gap analysis. This video is to help you get started with that. It's complementary to the DNP Search for Evidence library guide, which I've designed for this project. And that link to that guide is placed in the middle of the slide here. So you must be wondering where to start, where to look, and what are you looking for? I hope to answer those questions in this video tutorial. Let's start with what is evidence? Well, essentially it's proof. Researchers provide this proof or evidence in a manner which is transparent and reproducible. That means that any other researcher can replicate their study using the exact same methods and expect to get the same results. But why do we need evidence? Well, quality evidence provides a strong foundation for your research. If you can show that this process has been successful in the past, then it's more likely to be approved for your project. We discussed the ABCDE framework in the library guide I mentioned earlier. In this video, I'd like to discuss the first three steps, A, B, and C. Step A is assess the topic and perform background research. You need to know what other authors and researchers and colleagues are talking about in regards to the topic that you wish to research. And a great place to start for that is the Still One search bar on the library homepage. As you discover more research that's applicable to your project, pay attention to the keywords and the search terms other authors use. Just as different people from different parts of the country refer to carbonated beverages as soda or pop or cola, different authors use different terms related to the same topic. And we want to keep a list of those keywords and search terms so that you can expand your research. These will also help you develop a research or a PICO question, and we'll discuss how to develop that PICO question in this video. The next step we're going to explore is choosing databases and finding resources. So let's talk about developing a research question with the PICO format. PICO is an acronym for, and the P means patient, population, or problem. I is intervention, C, comparison or alternate treatment, and O is the outcome. Don't worry about filling in this chart at the beginning. As you go through and do more background research, you'll come up with more ideas. You'll see where the gap is in the project that you're proposing. Where the need is essentially what we're looking for. What hasn't been addressed in the research. You could see that in my example, I've only filled out the first two. I'm considering exploring mental health education in the rural population. Does it improve awareness? But I'm not going to put all those words in these boxes. I'm going to break it down to just the basics. So my population is rural. The problem is mental health awareness, and the intervention is education. As I said, as you explore more into your background research, you'll fill in these other areas. But what are we looking for? We're looking for level 1 secondary research or syntheses of primary research. This is the evidence-based pyramid. At the very top is the best quality evidence, the level 1 evidence that we need that's going to provide the strongest foundation for our project. It says it's a synthesis of primary research, but what does that mean? Well, you could see that primary research is located in the middle of the pyramid. So it's good quality research, but it's not the best. And we want the best. We want level 1 evidence. So essentially what systematic reviews and meta-analyses are, is they've taken primary studies that have looked at the same topic. And are all of these studies done by different organizations showing the same results? And if they are, that gives extra strength to that study. So a compilation of all these primary studies on the same topic showing the same results is stronger than a single study on its own. And that's why we want to use this level 1 evidence. These are syntheses of primary research studies. So where do we find this type of evidence, this level 1 syntheses of primary research? Well, the best place to start is at Pubmed. And you can access Pubmed through the library homepage. I've put the link to the library homepage at the top of the screen here. Accessing Pubmed from the library homepage also ensures you better access to full text. So we put the tab there, and you can use the advanced search if you'd like. So let's go ahead and put our example into Pubmed. Now remember, I've broken it down to just the very basic terms. I'm not going to put in my whole research question into Pubmed. I want it to just find these terms. So my rural population, I'm combining with mental health, and I'm combining it with my intervention, education. I'm doing that with Boolean, and I want Pubmed to search their database for articles that contain all three of these terms. And you'll note that I've put quotations around mental health because I don't want the database to search those terms separately. I want it to search them as a phrase, mental health together. And you can see down here in my results where it's bolded, mental health is together. So PubMed's going to give me a lot of results with just this search, but I don't want just any results. I want that level 1 evidence, that synthesis of primary studies. I can limit my results to those syntheses. At the bottom of the page here, you'll see article type. Go ahead and check clinical trial, meta-analyses, randomized control trial, and systematic reviews. Remember, we said these are all at the top of the pyramid. This is the type of evidence that we want. And you can also limit it by year. I've limited it to 3 years. Generally, in medical research, 5 years is acceptable. Depending on the type of study you're doing, you might want to go back further if you need more historical information. So let's go through this again, because this is important. We're on Pubmed. We're combining our basic terms with the Boolean and, because we want articles that contain all three terms, all three aspects of our research. My population, which is rural, mental health, and education, which is my intervention. I'm limiting my results to level 1 evidence, clinical trial, meta-analyses, randomized control trials, and systematic reviews. And then I'm limiting it again by year. So let's go over what we've talked about so far. We're discussing the first 3 steps of the ABCDE framework. We're going to assess our topic scope and goals, or essentially find out what is everyone talking about in regards to our topic. We're finding background research. What have others done before? What are they proposing should be done in the future? Where are the gaps? What has not been addressed in the research? Sometimes not finding things means that you found your gap. And a great place to do that, find this background information, is on the library homepage and using the still one search bar. As we find information that supports our project or supports the fact that no one is addressing this, or that others have labeled this area as a need, we're going to look at the keywords that other authors are using in their research. We're going to plug those into the PICO format to develop our PICO research question. We're then going to choose a database. You could start with Pubmed, CINAHL Plus works well, TRIP database, and Cochrane Library. The resources we're searching for are level 1 synthesized evidence. Those randomized control trials, systematic reviews, meta-analyses. And we can do that with Pubmed search limiters. Most importantly, please remember that you can contact me at any time. We can set up a research appointment, or we can discuss things over the phone or through email. I love to learn about your research, and I'd love to help you. Best of luck with your projects. Thank you.